I've been family testing the updated Genesis G70 this week, and the update sees tweaks to the safety and technology systems. The G70's release also sees the lineup refined to just one highly specified sport luxury grade in either a 4-cylinder shooting brake wagon or the V6 sedan that's on test here. It competes against other mid-sized sedans like the BMW 3 Series and Audi A4. And in this video, I'm going to unpack how it's handled life with my family of 3, so keep watching. The G70 3.3T Sport Luxury Sedan on test here will cost you $88,000 before on-road costs. That's $7,000 more expensive than the 2.0T shooting brake version and places it right in the middle of its nearest rivals, but you get some fab features included. Features include a sunroof, heated and ventilated front seats, heated rear outboard seats, as well as a premium Harman sound system with 15 speakers. The update also sees the G70 get an intelligent speed limit assist feature, Genesis Connected Services app, as well as over-the-air software updates. For more information, check out my full review at carsguide.com.au. The G70 sedan is absolutely gorgeous, and this blue paintwork of our test vehicle really makes the crisp pleating across the body just pop out. The muscular stance is much like its BMW rival, but the rear shaping is a lot softer. The front looks sophisticated with the wide-set LED lights and the black air intake vents. The cool, sporty 19-inch alloy wheels with their red calipers also hints at what the V6 engine can do. The interior looks really high-end because of my test vehicle's white Napa leather quilted upholstery and leather trims. The dashboard looks robust and solid, but it is enhanced by the slick 10.25-inch touchscreen multimedia system and the digital climate control panel. The front row has plenty of head and legroom if you're not sharing the cabin with anyone else. If there are adults in the back, you will have to scoot forward to accommodate their legs. That being said, the seats themselves are pretty comfortable, although the passenger seat is less so than the driver's, but it's great that they both have adjustable lumbar and under-thigh supports. The individual storage space is alright with a shallow glove box and middle console, 2 cup holders and quite small drink bottle holders in each door. You also get some pretty good charging options up front with a single USB-A and C port, a 12-volt port or a wireless charging pad to choose from. The multimedia system looks great and it is easy to use. The touchscreen is really responsive and I like that it has built-in sat-nav as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which are both wired. The 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster is easy to read and is semi-customizable. The 8-inch coloured head-up display is clear and I like that it pulls through the satellite navigation directions and the traffic sign information. I like that the sun visors are extendable, which is always handy, and that I can move the passenger seat without leaving my driver's seat from the controls on the right-hand side. I have plenty of headroom in this back row, but legroom is tight and I'm sitting behind my driving position and I'm only 168 centimeters tall. So if you are taller, you may find it a bit uncomfortable. That being said, the seats themselves are very well cushioned and I love how you have heat function on the outboard seats. I found this car to be quite low to get in and out of because of the 130mm ground clearance, but my 7-year-old loved it. I really like the amenities in this back row. You get hardened kick plates, 2 mat pockets, reading lights, directional air vents, 2 USB-C ports, cup holders in the fold-down armrest, and very shallow bin holders in each door. Because of the tall transmission tunnel and just the width of the seats, it's best to think of this car as a 4-seater rather than a 5-seater. And as such, even though you've got ISOFIX child seat mounts on the outboard seats and 3 top tethers, 2 seats are definitely going to fit best. Front passenger comfort is also going to be compromised when a 0 to 4 rearward facing child seat is installed too. The boot is an okay size at 330 litres, and if things do roll to the back, it's not too difficult to retrieve them. The rear seat has a 60-40 split and there's a temporary spare tyre underneath the floor. This features a powered tailgate, which I usually love to have on a car, but I almost feel like it's superfluous in this model. The G70 3.3T Sport Luxury Sedan has a 3.3 litre V6 turbo petrol engine with a maximum power output of 274 kilowatts and 510 newton meters of torque. It's a rear-wheel drive and features an 8-speed auto transmission. It's got a great sense of power and can do a 0 to 100 kilometer sprint time in just 4.7 seconds. Suffice it to say, this has been really fun to drive. The G70 is a beautiful car to drive. It's graceful on the road and there's a really good well of power to dip into when you need to. I also just found that it's as easy to drive in the city as it is on the open road, which is always lovely to have. The steering in this is really responsive and the car in general just feels very nimble to maneuver. I've really loved handling corners in this. You can accelerate out of a hairpin turn really well. It's really fun, hugs the road. The suspension is on the firm side and you might get a few little grunts when you go over harder bumps, but overall the ride comfort is actually really pleasant. I quite like feeling the road and what's happening with cars like this, so I don't mind it at all. The cabin is generally quiet, but the wind and road noise does creep up when you're hitting higher speeds. And it's not really enough to intrude on chatting, but you're not going to forget that it's there either. This is really easy to park because it has an 11-meter turning circle, a very clear 360-degree view camera system, as well as front and rear parking sensors. If you can't park it, it's not the car. The compromise to getting all of that power though is that she's a thirsty gal. The official combined fuel cycle is 10.4 litres per 100 kilometres. My real world usage came out at 10.6 litres, but I did do mostly open road driving this week, so I'm not surprised at that usage. But in general, I wouldn't expect to be saving any money at the Bowser. Based on the official combined fuel cycle and the 60 litre fuel tank, expect a driving range of around 577 kilometres on average. So not as efficient as some other sedans out there. The Genesis G70 has a great suite of safety features, and it's almost a case of what doesn't it have. But a real highlight is the blind spot view monitor, which pops a video feed of your blind spot onto your digital instrument cluster. Very handy to have in the city. The G70 has a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating from testing done in 2018, and the update now sees 10 airbags, which is outstanding for the class. The full safety specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. I've said it before, but the Genesis after purchase program is pretty good and hard to beat because you get up to 5 years or 50,000 kilometers complimentary servicing with the G70. How good is that? The G70 also comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometer warranty, and the servicing intervals are at every 12 months or 10,000 kilometers. Usually that term could be a little bit annoying if you put a lot of Ks on your car every year, but free is free. The updated Genesis G70 3.3T Sport Luxury Sedan is beautiful to look at and drive. It features premium features and trims and great power, but the cabin is tight on space, which makes it a little bit awkward to use. So this will suit a small family best, or families where this isn't the primary mover. I really love the aftercare program, and it suited my small family of 3 just fine, so this gets an 8 out of 10 from us. If you're after more details, check out my full review at carsguide.com.au, and I'll see you next week.